So welcome back to my channel. This is Gamer Dom, and time for another Rambles of a Fool. Now I delayed it again till Saturday because there wasn't very much news, but you know what, there wasn't much news either through the rest of Friday, so fairly quick one this week. I know I always say that, but this time it really is. So we're going to look at the new upcoming map into the game, which looks really interesting. Also going to have a look again at the KV2 conspiracy and all the ramifications that are happening with that. Going to look at some of the upcoming missions and what we have to expect this weekend, and a little bit more if we can find some more to talk about. In the meantime, let's get cracking. So it appears that Wargaming finally realised what the rest of us already knew, and that is the Object 268 version 4 is overpowered. There was a minor nerf that they started to instigate. I talked about that in the last Rambles, and they've done it again. They've nerfed it even further, because even the little nerf they did before is not enough. So this is currently going through Supertest right now, so I have to see how it actually comes out in the wash at the end, but looks promising. I have to say, it's about time too, and it's a recognition that their super testers know what the bloody hell they're doing, letting a tank like that into the game. It is just dominating the top tier matches, just far too good. So another nerfing of its aim time from 1.92 to 2.4, which is very good. Well, it was outstanding, it's now just good, so that's good. Engine power reduced considerably from 1,500 to 1,350. You hear my cynicism there? Yeah, massive change. However, it has had a difference to its power to ton ratio from 20 to 18, which is pretty reasonable. So 18 is kind of in that sluggish area, which is what it needs, frankly. Reverse speed has been reduced from 22 to 20. Well, that's a bit of dispersion increased during movement and rotation of the hull from 0.115 to 0.153, so that's actually quite a lot. Dispersion during movement at maximum speed increased from 6.33 to 7.67, which is also a nice good increase. Increase in dispersion during hull rotation at maximum speed from 2.65 to 3.38, good. And the armor has been reduced further. Dispersion was increased during the rotation of the gun from 0.096 to 0.151. Hit points went down by all of 100, but you know, it's good. Rotation speed of the suspension has changed from 23 to 22. Maximum speed has gone down from 55 to 50, and rotation of the gun in the casement is reduced from 31.3 to 29.2. So all of those things, good and welcomed. So what have they changed here? The casements, or these walkie-talkie, well, I think they're viewer ports here, aren't they? And also this hatch, not that you can hit it very easily, has gone from 252 to 232, which is nice. But the best bit is this very lower, I mean, it's quite tough to hit, but that lower plate, if that makes sense, has had a bit of a nerfing from 2.36 to 2.0. Oh, start again, Dom. 236 to 201. 201 is in the realms of most tanks that it's going to come up against, so that's good. And actually 232 is also, once they've hit their skill key, a good penetration potential, so you've got a chance to take this damn thing on. That's the problem at the moment. It is just far too quick. It spins around like a spinning top, and its armor just can't be penned, so you can't flank it, you can't get round it. It chases you down and just absolutely wrecks you. So they're doing something about its speeding it or slowing it down. They're looking at creating some weak spots, and yeah, all in all, some fairly significant changes, and about bloody time, Wargaming. You should just fire your super testers, because clearly they have no idea what they're doing. To let that tank into the game in the first place was absolutely ridiculous. And frankly, I say I'm never in for, not that they get paid, I don't think, but I'm not into people losing their jobs. But they need to lose their jobs. That's all I can say. So I forget whether we talked about this one before, but there's another new map in Supertest at the moment. In fact, it's having its second Supertest. This is the Berlin map. So it's an interesting one because it is a real mixture of city and open plain, which kind of is a great thing as far as I'm concerned. I think that gives everybody, and I mean, I've said this many times, and I'm repeating myself like some boring old fart in the pub. Don't comment on that, please, Black Sun. The thing I love in any kind of map is the opportunity for all classes of vehicles. There's nothing worse than you select whatever it may be, a light tank, and you click the button and it's Himmelsdorf. And you think, Jesus. Now, and I know there are some positions you can go to, some ways you can play it, and if you play cleverly, I've had some good games of light tanks in Himmelsdorf. But the reality is it's a hell of a lot harder. If the map has features for everybody, it makes life so much better, and I think the gameplay is so much more exciting and fun to play. And also more maps. I've said this many times, more maps. Anytime we get more maps has got to be welcome. So anyway, this is a quick video that Wargaming posted about it. Let's have a quick look, see what it looks like. So here we go. You can see from the obviously not fantastic, apologies, but you can see from the mini map down on the right there, what's interesting about this map to me is, and they've been talking about this in some of the developer forums, is the fact that they want to introduce, or they're thinking about introducing mirrored maps, so mirror images. And although this one isn't positioned as one, it is. If you look at that mini map, pretty much everything is matched on each side. Not so much that you go, oh well, this is a dead easy, mirror. It actually, but it is. So you can see there's the Reichstag is up there to the right there. That's it. I recognise that. There's also, I think, Brandenburg Gate is here. There's also the Berlin railway station. So, and this looks a bit like Paris here, doesn't it? This looks a bit like the open air of Paris. In fact, it looks identical to Paris. Lazy. But anyway, I don't care. I don't care. They can repurpose old maps for all I care, as long as we get new maps. That's all I'm interested in. Some interesting possibilities through this sort of sunken road area here. If you've got a very low level light tank like this one, you can sneak up. Oh yeah, there's a Brandenburg Gate. There it is. This guy wants to take off. So you can see it's got some very wide open areas. It's got some yes. Well, we'll see whether we can get into the city bit and see what that looks like. But it needs some more bushes. There we go. Bushes. Got there. Get in there. Oh my lord! Look at this. Squeeze up the pixelation. Bit of water there? It is a bit of water there. Oh, it's not properly, it's just a fish pond. But you can see the mirror, it's a mirror image. What's also very interesting to me is look how misplaced the caps are. They're both in the northern halves of the map. Most often when you play map positions, well I think so anyway, you have one at the top, one at the bottom. So it's very interesting when they put the two together, at the top end, which means the heavy tanks will get to grips much quicker in that sort of built-up area in the northern area, and the lights and mediums have got more time to exploit on the other side. A glimpse there. Not my fault, that's the video. Here we can see a bit more of the built-up area. This does remind me of a sort of open Paris. Got flyover for the Autobahn. Do they have Autobahns in the Second World War? Oh, here we go. Oh, I thought that was a... going to be an Evel Knievel jump there. So, you know, some interesting positions at the back here for TDs. You can use those broken roadsides there to good effect if you're trying to do a last defence against from your cap. Nice camping position at the back there for the heavy tanks. Nice viewing areas here over the river. I like this. I like the look of it. It looks like it's going to be an interesting map. Anyway, go along and have a look at the World of Tanks videos because it's there. Okay, so I'm not going to go into a huge amount about this thing, but it seems to have seriously divided opinion. This is the KV2 Premium, the KV2R. It's a collaboration between World of Tanks and Warhammer 40k. Now, in reality, that collaboration means that Wargaming have bought the rights to use the 40k brand for this tank and also for that BDR skin, which is a complete waste of time. And I was very critical of this. I did a quick video because I thought it was lazy when they launched it. It came out of nowhere, frankly. Nobody expected it at all. It just suddenly popped up for sales on all the different premium shops. As I say, it created a bit of a shitstorm, and you know, I hated myself because I was so tempted by it because it's a KV2 and it's a premium KV2, so why not? And actually, I actually quite like it, even though I detest all these cartoon tanks. I've been very critical on this channel and on streams about the anime tanks. I think, you know, this game is loosely based, and I use the word, you know, loosely, very, very loosely, on Second World War and reality and history. Now, the actual reality is, of course, most of the tanks we're now seeing are complete paper tanks. If they existed in any sense at all, they were prototype drawings, maybe even wooden models, but that's about it. But even some of those aren't, some of the newer tanks aren't even that. So who am I trying to kid that this is a historic game anymore? It's a game, and it's a fun game, and maybe I should chill out about the history factor. And the reality is you can turn off these skins if you don't want to see them. In fact, if you buy this, you can turn off the Warhammer skin and just have a plain standard KV2. Now, why you do that, I have no idea, but you know, some people might do that. It is a premium KV2 after all. So, you know, I was critical of it, but more than anything else because damn, it looked good, and damn, it was kind of interesting to me. And I still think it's a lazy option. I think they should have produced a unique tank to do this markup. But the reality is Wargaming are a business, right? And there's a lot of bleating going on about how expensive this and how unfair it is and how we're being milked and blah blah blah. The reality is, right, bottom line is, we do not have to buy these tanks. Nobody forces us to buy the tanks. You know, you can buy them or you don't have to buy them. You know, this thing is not OP. It is a standard KV2, no different. In fact, funny enough, I've just been watching a video by Three Men in a Tank. Have you ever watched that American streamer and YouTuber? Absolutely awesome guy. Boring as shit. But he really, because I don't mean that in a nasty way, he just has one of these analytical brains that I do not have. And he just dives down into the numbers. And after about 10 minutes of watching his videos, I'm just out of numbers. I can't deal with it. But he did an analysis of the KV2 and the KV2R, and actually when you look at some of the soft stats, this thing in paper is worse than the regular KV2. Not by much, but only in terms of turret and track rotation, or tank rotation. However, when he then went on to test server and tried it out, he found that this was quicker. Well, turret rotation was pretty much the same, and hull rotation was a smidge quicker, but all the stats seem to say the opposite. So anyway, it's a complete irrelevance. He did a whole long 20-minute video talking about this, and the analysis at the end was actually it's no different. And actually there is no difference. The only difference is the fact it's premium, so you get 50% extra credit generation and 50% extra crew experience generation, and you can put your Russian heavy tank crews into this thing and we don't need to retrain them, and they can benefit from the experience. You also get, obviously, with this crew, a full Brothers in Arms crew that comes with it, which again has value because, and I've talked about this before many times, when you get these crews with the already established Sixth Sense or Brothers in Arms on them, that doesn't count as their first skill. It is their first skill, but it doesn't count for the calculations. And the way crew experience works in this game, once you've reached 100%, the skill bonuses for the second set of skills is harder than the first, and the second is harder than the third is harder than the second. It's so forth and upwards, and it's a kind of exponential increase in XP that you need to earn to get the next skill, which means it takes a heck of a lot longer. Obviously, with these tanks, with these crews that come along from time to time with these special offers, they have that first skill for free, which means their second skill is actually qualifying as their first skill in terms of crew earned experience, which means you can get multiple skills on these crews much quicker, because obviously your second skill, in this case with this crew, is actually your first skill for calculation purposes. So if that hasn't confused everybody, that's the basic rule of thumb. So anyway, bottom line is, I did buy this tank and I don't regret it. It was too expensive, I'll give them that. Well, I say it was very expensive. I'm not saying it's too expensive. And again, the reality is, and people moaned about the price, and it's the same price as a tier 8, which it is. This is the same price as a tier 8 medium tank in the garage right now. You could buy a CDC, what's the other ones I can't think, an SDA, those kind of things for the same price as this, a tier 6. Of course, the reason for that is that Wargaming have had to buy the rights to use the Warhammer logo and the Warhammer name, and that ain't cheap. That is not cheap. So a proportion of that extra increase has gone to Warhammer, not to Wargaming. So it's a business decision they have made, and I think, you know, as a business head, putting a business head on, and you know, I work in marketing loosely, and I know how these things work, and you've got to admire them for doing this. They have gone out and said, okay, what's our most popular, one of our most popular tanks in the game? Okay, KV2s, all the Russian tanks are very popular, mainly because this is a Russian game, but also because they're better than most. Anyway, Red KV2 is a popular thing. What don't we have a premium for? Yeah, we don't have one for a KV2. What kind of fits the era of 40k? Yeah, KV2. Let's just tart it up and make it look like Warhammer and sell it on. And you've got to admire them for that, because hey, it makes perfect sense. They don't have to put a huge amount of effort in. All they've had to do is a little bit of design work on creating the skin for this tank, and they stick it out, and you know, cool. You know, at the end of the day, Wargaming does not make this game for our pure joy and love. They create it to make it as a business. They are in the business of making money, and you know, people who moan about, you know, premiums and costs, you know, and this is a free, you know, should be a free-to-play game. If it was a free-to-play game, it would die very rapidly, because it needs to have a source of revenue to keep reinventing the game. You think of, I mean, I've been playing since 2013. I didn't play much initially, but that's basically when I joined, and the game is so different from then, and that's down to the amount of investment they've made around development of the game, improvements to the engine, to the whole kind of environment. You know, just that massive patch that came in last time, with the changes to the maps and everything else. This game has moved forward monumentally, and you would not have got that if you hadn't had some element of pay within the game. And they need to fund their huge enterprise. It's a big company now, and you know, business companies, this is the way modern business works. If you don't like it, you can it's not much you can do about it. Businesses need to make money, and they need to make a profit, and if they can make a profit by selling something that people want to buy, they're gonna do it. We as consumers have a choice. We don't have to buy it, we don't have to play the game. That's our choice. If we choose to play the game, then we have a choice of, do we buy it, do we not? If we don't want to buy it, then that's absolutely fine. This is not an overpowered premium tank that kind of everyone has to buy. Even then, they don't have to buy it; they choose to buy it. But this is not an overpowered tank. This is no different to the KV2. Pretty much. If it is, it's absolute smidgens, and you know, kudos to three men in a tank. He understands this far more than I would understand it, but you know, even he was confused by the stats, but even he admitted that there was absolutely minuscule changes. Now, there was a change around the camo. That is a fair point. There was a change, there was something not working right with the camo. However, the micro patch we had Wednesday night, Thursday, there's been so many little micro patches come through, has changed that, and now the camo works as it should do. So that's the actual Valhalla skin that's on this tank. So anyway, I thought I'd address it again because it generated huge amount of discussion in my channel when I put a video up about this thing. So first up, admission, I did buy it. I don't regret buying it. Well, I kind of do, but it's, you know, and again, I had this discussion with somebody. You know, at the end of the day, if you guys go out to the pub and have a couple of beers, or you go to the cinema, or you go to the whatever you may do, if you go to the cinema in the UK and you buy some popcorn and drinks, you're going to spend 20 quid. And you have the experience, you enjoy it, you come home, sort of a great film, and after a few years, you know, a couple of months, you've forgotten really what happened in that film. At least this thing hangs around a little bit longer until this game dies or you give up and lose interest. So, you know, for me, 20 quid or so, yes, it's too much, I think, but you know, it is what it is. I can afford it, thankfully, and it's not paid through this channel. So before people have a go at that, because I did see somebody saying that as well, I don't run advertising. I can't run advertising on this channel. YouTube, in their wisdom, took away my ability to do that some time ago, and I'm waiting forever for them to reevaluate. Now I've gone over the mandatory number. Because funny enough, they take it away immediately, but they take forever to reassess whether you need it back, whether you can have it back. Anyway, that's by the by. So I bought it. I think it's, you know, it's just a KV2. I've sold my original KV2, and because I don't need it, and I'm playing the same crew in this thing, but now they're getting more experience and more credits, and I don't have a problem with that. Okay, so a bit of a heads up for anybody who's interested in earning some free stuff. I know how you guys love free stuff. So the Italian World of Tanks blog, mmowd.net, who I reference from time to time because they have some good stuff from sometimes before anybody else, which is great. They are running a community contest, which is well worth getting into if you're into Italian tanks at the moment. So this runs until May 22nd. They just want to see the most entertaining replay they can see, on the one condition: it has to be in an Italian tank. Italian blog, Italian tanks makes perfect sense. So it's kind of cool, really. So I'll put the link down below, but if not, search for this blog. There's 5 prizes up for grabs, and they're great. So there's a very nice set of gaming headset. There's the Brighetto Tier 8 Premium Italian tank. There's a Scorpion G, a Patriot, and a Samua SM, which I recently revealed as being the biggest damage-dealing Tier 8 heavy tank in the game, much to my surprise. Anyway, so those 5 vehicles are available for the top 5 replays that they receive. So you've got until the 22nd of May. If you have an absolutely awesome, fun, brilliant, entertaining Italian tank game that you think is fantastic, then stick it into the blog. I think they will appreciate that. Also, if you got one of those, then always share it with my channel, because I'm always looking for good, fun replays. Always happy to feature material on my channel, so just send it to me, gamerdom13@gmail.com. Don't just send it to me and I won't, assuming that I'll send it on. I will not. So just make sure you send it to both me and to this blog if you are looking to enter the competition. Anyway, check it out. Check out this blog because it's kind of good. You'll need to use your Google Translate because it is written in Italian, which means some of the translations can be a little bit wobbly, like progetto being project, but I guess that is actually what progetto meant. That's probably why it's translated that way. Anyway, there you go. So this weekend's specials on the EU server are around crew, everything to do with crew. So there is a discount on retraining of crews, 50%. Oh, sorry, skill reset of 50%. So if you've got the wrong skills on your crew and you want to reset them, this is the weekend to do it. Also 50% on crew retraining or training. So again, if you've just bought yourself a new tank and you want to try it out, then you know, good time to retrain your crew for it. And for the dastardly barrack slots, so every time Wargaming gives us all these free crews, they get dumped into our barracks after the thing's finished, and you suddenly find you've got no crew space left. So now might be a time to buy 50% off. It's also times 2 crew experience for is it for every yeah, for every battle where you are in top 10 of your team. Doesn't look like you have to be winning. No, you don't. Times 2 crew experience for every battle where you're placed in the top 10 by base experience earned in every vehicle from tier 4 upwards in every game. So that's kind of cool. There's also a mission to earn first aid and a token for boost your crew, whatever that is. 5,000 XP, can be done 3 times per day. Oh, and here we go, this is boost your crew, so you get 6 of those tokens. So what is it, you can earn 3 of those each day. 3, 6, 9, I can work that one out. So potential to earn 9. If you earn 6 of them, then you get healthy crew for a healthy tank, whatever that means. Oh, I see, so if you get 6 of those, Dobby is stupid, you get 10 personal reserves of plus 200% crew experience for 1 hour. So that's kind of a nice one to push through. And the yeah, Prima Donna Centurion is on sale in the shop this weekend on EU. So there you go, that's your EU weekend ahead. Okay, so North America look like you've got pretty much the same offering actually. Crew experience weekend, double crew experience for being in the top 10 of every game, basically on all battles, all standard grand, round of 7x7, unranked team battles, skirmishes and strongholds, and you can do it as many times as you like. You can also earn small repair kits just by being one of the top 10 XP earners for 3 games. Again, doesn't say you have to win. And another one, supply raid 2, you get first aid kits if you damage 10 tanks over any number of battles. And 3 is be one of the top 10 XP earners of your team and destroy 10 tanks. So both of them together gets you 2 of each of those. So yeah, nothing special, but it's a freebie, so fantastic. You also got the last chance to buy the premium what is it, Centurion 5-1, ends on June the 1st. Premium bundle for the Berlin 5, which I think includes the Thunderbolt, doesn't it, I think, as well as the other 4. The KV2 premium here. So there's lots of, look at all the stuff you got here, wow. So lots of dates, lots of things to work through, so go and check it out, because if you're in North America, they keep you well informed, unlike the EU. So as I say, it was a quick one there. I hope you found it useful and interesting. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think, as always. In the meantime, enjoy your games, have fun, try not to take it too seriously, and I'll see you again soon. This is Gamer Dom, signing out.